supply block. That's going to slow him down a lot. He actually needs several SCVs building supply depots at the moment, because right now he's got the funds, he just does not have any way to build it. And actually, if he would lower this and use some of this energy and drop this extra supplies, we usually don't see that a whole lot. However, that would certainly help him out in this time. So look at the army. Jurayac's army is actually greater. That supply block actually slowed MrPopo down units. Of course, MrPopo is leading 37 to 27 SCVs. However, just Jurayac has so many Marauders, and the Marine count is about even for both of them. I'm not really sure why MrPopo is going around here to the side. Jurayac can see this, and MrPopo is not trying to kill this SCV at all. Jurayac does see this and knows that he can attack. This is really not the best positioning at all for MrPopo, and this entire army from MrPopo is going to go down. Stemming actually to run away, not what he wanted to do at all. Now, if he can, siege mode is on its way. If he can siege up this tank, he can actually hold off most of these. However, these Marauders could end up stemming and try to run in here and snipe off that tank. It's really just going to come down to exactly micro and control here. 2 more tanks are coming out, so these MrPopo realizes that it's actually really hard for his tanks to get out of his base there with that barracks there. However, the attack is coming, and if MrPopo doesn't get these sieged up, he needs to get sieged up right now. He's got 1 tank there. He needs to siege these tanks up right now. He does siege them up, and he is able to hold off this attack somewhat. So these tanks really secured him that advantage. So these dropships are going to come in here and try to heal these up. Really, that's the thing that MrPopo needs so desperately. He's making Vikings. He doesn't have any dropships right now. I'm not sure I agree with that. He definitely, I would imagine, needs a starport with a reactor on it to get out some medevacs that can heal up all these stemmed units, because right now Jurayac does have map control, and he is actually mining off 2 bases, one the gold with a planetary fortress here at the gold. Jurayac realizes that he's very gutsy to try and attack, or actually try to expand here so early. So he does feel a lot safer with that being a planetary fortress. MrPopo's tanks are not sieged up. That could prove fatal if Jurayac does decide to attack here at the moment. And these are not sieged up. That could actually cost him the game if he does not get those sieged up. And we really don't see... We've got a Viking, but we don't have medevacs on the way for MrPopo. We see an armory on the way, which is going to be... I really don't think that is the best decision right now, because we have all these Marauders by Jurayac and a ton of Marines that can just stem and really try to do a lot. I don't know if MrPopo needs to be pushing out at this moment with no medevacs. He is building a reactor on his starport, so he is hopefully going to be getting a lot of medevacs here. He is going to try, and he knows he needs to expand, and so he's trying to kill these destructible rocks and take his third. Meanwhile, Jurayac is already building the command center for his third. So at this point, MrPopo just started on his too. So that could be very interesting. I guess this Viking is here just to protect against medevacs, but I really think this should have been and could have been a medevac, and it would have been much, much better. MrPopo is actually supply blocked once again, so that is not good. That first supply block really let Jurayac catch up, and this next supply block right here is not going to help him at all. And even this Marine here that is trying to take the tower is not even stemming there. Didn't need to stem, did not need to damage that anyway. And so we have more Vikings. I don't really agree with this Viking production. We don't have any medevacs at all for MrPopo, and that is just not good at all. This bunker is still here, probably could be salvaged at this point, and those Marines could be added to this main army. However, that is not what is going on, and MrPopo is desperately building supply depots, trying to ensure that he is not a supply block. He does have a Thor out. and he has a couple actually Thors queued, not what he wants to do, trying to get rid of all of this money. You can see he's got a huge amount of resources right there. Meanwhile, Jurayac does have way too much gas, but at the same time, he's done a lot better job keeping control of his minerals, and especially he is getting this gold mineral. So he's actually mining on his third right now. Look at the income. Jurayac is now in the lead of the income. Meanwhile, MrPopo does have more SCVs. So looks like Jurayac has actually caught, is actually stayed in the head. MrPopo has stayed in the head as far as worker production, and MrPopo does a great scan, sees this planetary fortress, knows this gold is being mined, knows all these units are here with all of these medevacs, and right now he's got 8 medevacs here, and they're just going to be able to, if they go around here to the side, they could just drop right in here in the main, and that would pretty much be GG. So if MrPopo does not rank, his army is completely out of position. He's sieging up right now, but he's actually unsieging right now, and that's not what he needs to be doing. These armies are completely trading spaces. If he can see the Zelnaka Tower, maybe he can see exactly where this army is going. This door is going to be taken out, and army's completely out of position at this point. MrPopo realizes that things are not where he needs them to be, and instead he's actually just going to counter push, and this could turn into a base race at this point. That Thor being almost immediately killed, all these units of our force being stemmed and instantly healed. MrPopo is able to take out this planetary fortress. However, all of his marines pretty much dying because of all these SCVs attacking. And really, it is turned into a base trade at this point, with Jurayac being favored heavily. However, really, there's not a lot here for Jurayac to defend with. MrPopo actually is building a command center right here, so if he can get this up, and he does have this command center, which is a planetary fortress, if he could keep some of these SCVs right here to defend, that actually would be great. These tanks right here are going to take out a number of troops here, but it's not really going to be enough because they are all stemmed and just flood in. MrPopo really cannot afford to engage his opponent's army directly, which is basically what is going to happen. Right now, I really cannot see this army surviving much longer. With Jurayac coming in the rear, stemming up, and just taking out this army so incredibly fast. This will do so much damage. If there's any unit in StarCraft that is overpowered, it is the Marine. So if it's not the probe is pretty overpowered as well. These three SCVs just chilling here, got the minerals to repair this planetary fortress, and just keeping these SCVs here. He knows the attack is coming. Is he going to try to repair? The SCVs just cannot repair a planetary fortress fast enough. And really at this point, it is just mopping up for Jurayac. He knows that something is going on as far as there are buildings left. And he knows there's a command center because MrPopo has not been revealed. But however, MrPopo does GG. So that was an epic game. We hope that you continue watching the HFI02 because these games are going to be great. So this is an MrPopo, sign off.